155. We're now joined by one of the Nurses Union officials, Peter Maroko, joining us live from Mombasa studios. Sir, that is, of course, he's the Secretary General of the Nurses Union, Mombasa branch. Sir, good afternoon. And Mombasa has been one of the most affected by this strike. 8 people losing their lives at the Coast General Hospital yesterday from the reports that we have. Do you think that this strike was ill-timed, given the fact that we understand there were already some talks between the nurses' unions and the government already ongoing?
I can't say that the strike was ill-timed, because this is a strike that we gave out in December last year. And bearing in mind that when we had this dispute in last year, we had suspended our strike, and we gave time for dialogue for 2 months, which we actually did, came up with an agreement. As we understand currently, we have a CBA that has been negotiated between the Kenya National Union of Nurses and the representatives that were appointed by the Council of Governors to represent the Council of Governors in the negotiations. An agreement was reached. It has been presented to the Council of Governors and SRC to give a go-ahead so that it can be signed. But as you're saying, it's SRC that is playing cards with the Nurses Union, which they are saying they cannot give an objection letter for the CBA to be signed. So I can't say that the strike was ill-timed, because it's an allowance we gave for dialogue, which again the government is taking chances with it, and we are now back to the street because our strike was still valid up to date.
So the talks that are currently ongoing, what are they intended to achieve? From where you sit?
Our expectation is that the SRC, the Council of Governors, will go ahead and sign our collective bargaining agreement so that we can go back to work. That's our expectation, nothing much. Because as we understand, we have a CBA that has been negotiated. No more should be talked about, because already we have agreed with it. And we need to have it signed and proceed to registering in a court of law.
And what has the SRC been telling you? You have said that the SRC is the one that is playing cards with your union. What is SRC's standpoint?
SRC is the biggest obstacle in labor relations, and actually, my opinion would be we get rid of SRC from labor relations so that we can have engagement with the employer directly without SRC interfering with the labor relations of workers.
The SRC is a constitutional commission. It needs to be there to tame unions like yours when you want to, or if you want to, ask for a bit too much. Don't you think?
SRC is a constitutional body, yeah? But you see, every now and again, it keeps on interfering with these small workers. But when it comes to the big fish in this country, the state officers and the rest, and the MPs and other workers, they actually give a go-ahead very fast. But when it comes to the other workers, actually, we are failing to understand why they keep on telling us the wage bill is very high and such things that are interfering with the labor relations in the labor industry.
Right. Do you think there's political will to end this crisis and to have your issues addressed from a political standpoint, or do you think it was a bad idea to have this strike at the height of political campaigns?
It's not a bad idea. It's the right moment for the politicians to now look at it and understand that this is a time that they need to address this, because people are suffering out there, are the voters. They're expecting at the end of the day to vote for them. And therefore, they should come and bring a solution to this impediment, and we move forward and go back to work and actually offer our services to patients who are suffering in the hospitals.
All right. Thank you, Sir Peter Maroko, the Secretary General of the Nurses Union, Mombasa branch, there, of course, giving